PC fam, welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. I know we just saw y'all a couple hours ago, but y'all know what time it is on Thursday. We're coming right back with Chill with Chill. Here we are at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, just like we are every week. Here today, we're just here to talk ball. That's what we do. It's still early in the season, but we got a lot of good things going on. We got a lot of teams that are on heaters, including obviously the Rockets. They are the title. Are they for real? We're gonna get to the bottom of that. Chill. Also, there's other teams that are on heaters right now. You got the Nuggets. You got the Pistons. I mean, some teams that we got to talk about. We got a lot of conversation going on. But chill. First, I want to get to something quick. What's going on in Los Angeles? It seems that the Bus brothers have been let go from whatever their role was. And chill, I'm not privy to the goings ons of the Lakers front office. Could you maybe inform me and the people that don't know what's going on in La La Land? What were the Bus brothers' jobs, and what does it mean that they're gone now?
Sure.
And also,
Well,
because I know they sold, Jeannie and them had sold earlier, and so are they even a part of the Lakers organization anymore? The
so
Bus
when
family.
so when Dr. Bus passed, I want to say 2013, Ox, when Dr. Bus passed, he left in his will that Jeannie was going to be the sole proprietor. So she was going to be the decision maker when any decisions needed to be made. She was going to be that, and she was the one who also put people in charge. Like, for example, her brothers. One of them ran the not the LA Kings. I'm sorry, the LA Sparks at one point. One of them was a scout, and they ran one of the indoor soccer teams. I think that's what it was. But with that being said, she had owned a 66% stake in the Lakers, and she ended up, the owner of the Dodgers, she ended up selling it to him. She still owns an 11% stake in the team, but her brothers have been relieved of their duties. What they were scouts. Well, here's the thing, Ox. I think that we could find scouts. When you're a minority owner, you being a scout, that's not really necessary, because that sounds like there's a conflict of interest there, because you're an owner plus you're scouting players. It's almost like, who's the boss here? Who's running things around here? Are you running things? Am I running things? So they were relieved of that. But I think that this thing spills into what's to come, and I'm not on the fence about this, because with Jeannie still being in, Jeannie is still in power. Like I said, she's got an 11% stake in the team, and she's still in the front office, and she's still making decisions. She's just not the major decision maker. Like, the final word isn't with her anymore. They have other people that are involved in that sort of thing, and she's got to check with people now. Before, she didn't have to as much as she does now. But with that being said, I think this is something to come. I'm not sure that they're completely out of the Bus business, but I do think that they want to be. I do think that they want to ultimately move on from them, and I think that this is going to be. I think the continuation of this is going to be James. I think that they're out of the James business too. I think after this season, I would not be surprised if James wasn't with the Lakers, unless a significant pay cut was there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think that they stand to make more money with him on the crew than without him on the crew. But as far as them moving forward with their franchise player, I mean, we got he'll turn 41 years old this next month. With them having a guy like that on their team, no team builds around or has a significant piece on their crew that's in their 40s. No team does that. So with that being said, this is I think Laker organization that I think that they're prepared to move forward without what's going on with James. And as far as the Bus family, I mean, they've been in power with the Lakers since, I think, 1970, and he's owned that team for. Jack King Cook bought the team, and then I think he sold it to Dr. Bus, I want to say in 1970. Yeah, 1970, either 1970 or somewhere in the 70s. I want to say in the mid 70s, he ended up selling the team to him. But with Jeannie Buss still being a minority owner, she does still have some say so in what's going on in the front office. It's just not as much. So I think this is good because I think that this is a new chapter that we're going to see with the Lakers coming up.
Right. Okay. So the Bus family basically been in control of things since for about almost 50 years.
Yes, sir.
And
Over
it's a
50 years,
new
in fact.
so it's a new day. It's a new day in La La Land.
Yep.
I wonder how that's gonna work.
And I don't think it just stops with both Jesse and it's two brothers. It's Jesse and I forgot his other brother's name because they're scouts. I don't think it just stops with them. You know, I think Rob is another one who can be, you know, on a trail on a chopping block too. They maybe want to move in a different direction from him as well. It almost sounds like a house cleaning thing, right? And I can't say with 100% certainty, but if you're moving on from people, especially in this kind of business fashion, if you're moving on from people like this, you got to have people in place to be able to replace these people. I'm not just coming in, Ox, and you're fired, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Everybody's fired, and I don't have any idea who I'm replacing them with. Right. I have a good idea of which way I'm moving when I'm getting rid of all of these people.
Is Kupchak still involved with the Lakers?
No.
No. And so with the Dodgers guy being the being the new majority owner and Magic having a part of the Dodgers, is it possible that Magic comes back in some form or fashion to the Lakers?
I don't think Magic really wants anything to do with what's going on in the front office. I think that Magic is very much comfortable with collecting a check and letting people handle that off the strength that he's already been in that space already. Right? He's already been in that space, and he saw the day-to-day operation and understands how difficult it is to have to be in the office every day, understand exactly what's going on. Like when his stake in the Dodgers is the same way. Like they got people to handle front office stuff. Magic is not going to be a guy that wants to be in the front office every day, checking stats and understanding salaries and things like that. Now, he may be a face where, Ox, you're a free agent, and with you being a free agent, we're after you. He may be somebody that we might want to, pull his coattail and what do you think we should do in terms of how can we land this guy? He might be something like that, but the day-to-day operation, no. We passed that with Magic.
Right. Got you. Okay. Well, speaking of franchises looking to make big moves and things of that nature, there's been some rumors too, and we spoke about it on the panel today as well as yesterday, and it's been something we've spoken about a few times on the panel, and that is the Lauri Markkanen business. Yeah. Now, a lot of times, sometimes we want to have perfect basketball players, and then even more so, we want to have players that are too good to lose or too good to be with this franchise. And I think sometimes we have to wrap our head around the fact that even the sorry franchises get stars sometimes, Yep. And so I'm not saying, and I don't think anybody's saying that Lauri Markkanen is definitely out of Utah, but the Detroit Pistons are the team that keeps coming up. So it says here that a current trade price for Lauri Markkanen, Jaden Ivey, Ron Holland, Tobias Harris, and 4 picks, as well as 4 pick swaps. Is that price too much for Lauri Markkanen, or is that right about what he should cost?
Well, first of all, Alex, I'm not breaking up with my chick because you say I should break up with her. I'm not doing that. No, absolutely not. And Lauri Markkanen, if I'm thinking about the players that they've had there, Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, I mean, what do we have here? If we're moving off, if we haven't even seen, Lauri Markkanen's been there for 3 years now, I think he's been there for 3 years. Donovan Mitchell got traded in 22. He was there for 4 years, and they had a lot of success. They haven't really been able to build anything around Lauri Markkanen since Danny Ainge got there, and we haven't really seen what he looks like in terms of being a playoff player. So I think that he's their only viable piece. Why would I give up my only viable piece to start over with who? To start over in a draft, even though this is going to be a good draft, but to start over with who? Could I possibly? I'm probably going to get another high draft pick this year, even though Utah isn't as bad as I thought that they were going to be. But I'm probably going to get another high draft pick. Utah's the kind of place very much like Charlotte, very much like Oklahoma City, very much like places like that where I got to get it right when I draft. I can't get it wrong because nobody's coming here in free agency when I get it wrong. When I get it right, I can sway guys to come to Oklahoma City. I can sway guys to come to Minnesota because we're a lot better. There's nobody coming to Utah. I don't care how much money I have, and we're bad. Nah, nobody's coming up here. Absolutely not. So with that being said, I don't see Danny Ainge doing something like that off the strength that there has to be more in it. Toby is later on in his career. I think he's 32, 33. He doesn't really have that much time left. I already got Ronald. I already got Hollins and Ace Bailey, so I don't need him. Who else am I looking at? I'm looking at Ryan Hollins. I'm looking at Toby, and I'm looking at Jaden Ivey. I mean, we might be able to discuss Jaden Ivey, but not for Lauri Markkanen. There has to be more to it than that. And I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know. I don't think that's a viable trade for me now. You could do better than that.
Right. I mean, with that being said, too, I'm not mad at where either one of these teams are right now. Like Utah, there might not be a very good team right now, but to your point, I mean, when you have Lauri Markkanen, you have Ace Bailey, you have some good bigs over there.
Keontae George, Filipowski.
And that's what I was saying. Filipowski and Walker Kessler. I know Walker Kessler's hurt; he's out for the season. But I think if they can get another good pick this year, let's say if they were able to pull off another top 5, if they were able to pull off like a top 5 pick, chill. And let's say they were, I mean, chill. Let's say for instance, if they were to get like a 3rd pick or something, and let's say that VJ and Cam go first, and they were able to get a kid like Darren Peterson.
Don't leave out, Ox. Just so you know, we could win the lottery. Don't leave that part out.
well, then it's your pick. Who do you think is best for you? I mean, they could. I mean, AJ DeBonsa is loved in Utah.
But right down the block in Provo, literally down the block in Provo.
So if I'm Danny Ainge, I don't trade Lauri Markkanen unless it's unless you make an offer I can't refuse. You have to give me something because I'm not 100% out on where they're trending to. And I also said before the season, I don't think Utah is as bad as we initially thought they were going to be.
Not, yo.
And I think they're proving that right now. So, I mean, you got guys like Cody Williams still out there too, and I mean he's still young. He could develop into something. So, I mean, and what
Isaiah
is Lauri?
Collier.
Isaiah Collier, yeah. What is Lauri? Is he 27?
27 or 28, one of those two.
27, 28, yeah. So I mean, you got about 6. I think you still got about a 6. If you hold on to Lauri, you got about a 6-year window, I would say.
7.
That's even better. So 6-7-year window, you got these young guys over there. Maybe get another 2 or 3 years of top 7 picks. I mean,
remember who we're talking about, Ox. We're not talking about a bruising big, right? Lauri Markkanen at 7 foot. He's more of a stretch big. He's not, the box player, the bruising player. He's more of that. I play on the wing. I play pick and pop, stuff like that. So I'm not really concerned that much, right? I'm not really concerned that much with him breaking down like I was with Boogie. Like Boogie was more of a bruising big. Same thing with Anthony Davis. He did a lot of the dirty work bruising stuff, which would explain why he broke down. Lauri Markkanen, on the other hand, damn good transition player, really good stop and pop big. Doesn't rebound it as much as I'd like for him to, but I've also adopted that philosophy from you that I got to accept that, perfect basketball players very rarely exist. You kind of have to accept guys for who they are once they become that. Like I can see guys improving, but you kind of got to accept guys for who they are. And I feel like in this particular situation with Lauri Markkanen, I feel like we're at a space right now where this is probably who this dude is. Like I do think that he's gotten better, but he's never going to be a 20 and 10 guy. He's never going to be that. He'll pull down 10 rebounds for you at some point, but he's never going to be a defensive stopper. He's never going to be a complete glass cleaner. He's a bucket getter. That's what he is. He's a stretch big who gets buckets, and he can rebound in stretches. And that's really all that you can. That's really all you can ask for from somebody like that. Now, with that being said, Ox, I do have these young guys. There's a reason why I got Ace Bailey. There's a reason why I got Isaiah Collier. There's a reason why I got Keontae George. There's a reason why I got Filipowski. There's a reason why I had Walker Kessler. There's a reason why I got these guys, because I wasn't very good. right? So because I'm not very good, I'm trying to build with these guys and develop something. I think if the season ended today, I think they're in the play-in tournament. This is the same Utah team that was at the bottom of the Western Conference. Ox, why the hell am I giving away my best asset? I always use the chick logic. Ox, I'm not giving you my chick. What do I have?
Right.
After I help build her up, I'm gonna give her over to you? No, I ain't doing that. Dude, I don't think so.
Yeah, and that's from the Utah point of view. And that's me thinking from Utah. But thinking from the Detroit side, I'm really going to be aggressive to try to get Lauri Markkanen. I would be very aggressive to get more Lauri Markkanen. I would give up beef stew. In fact, Chill, we talked about it yesterday, and after sleeping on it and thinking longer, if I have to, Asar can go. Now, if Asar goes, that means you can't have Jaden Ivey. You can't have beef stew.
No, you can't have both of them. No.
Right.
No, that's not happening.
But I mean, if I'll give you Asar and Toby, a couple picks.
I'm giving up a lot of dirt. If I give up beef stew, because I think Lauri's a better player than him, I'm not going to argue that point. But if I give up beef stew, I have to keep Asar because I'm losing dirty work. I'm losing a lot of dirty work. So you can't have both of them.
Right.
But knowing Danny Ainge, knowing Danny Ainge, Ox, he might try to fleece you for both of them dudes.
Yeah, can't do it. I mean, I just can't see it happening. I could give you Asar and Toby and some picks. And Ron Harlan. I could do that. But my thing is, Isaiah Stewart and Asar Thompson can't both be together. You can have one or the other, you know. But hey, that's just my point of view. I think the Detroit Pistons need to get Lauri Markkanen. They need to get Lauri Markkanen right now at this trade deadline. I'm not talking about during the offseason. I'm not talking about next season's trade deadline. I'm talking about right now, Chill. As soon as possible, go get Lauri Markkanen and compete for this championship. I think one championship and competing for another, like, for instance, let's say it's 2000, so this is 25, 26, and you got 26, 27, 27, 28. In those 3 seasons, if you can get to a championship and an Eastern Conference championship, it's worth 3 first round picks. It's worth it to me.
Because essentially what you're saying when you trade those 3 first round picks is those 3 guys that come up, they're not going to be as good as this dude that I got right now. These 3 guys aren't going to be as good as Lauri Markkanen.
I'm not. Well, okay, the 3 guys that I can pick, no. Yes. I don't think they will be. That's
essentially what you're banking on. And it sounds also to me, Ox, like you're telling me with both Beef Stew and Asar, you can have either the Hummer or the Ferrari. You can't have both of them, though.
No, sir.
Which one you want?
No, sir, can't have both. You can have one.
Yeah, which one you want? You want the Ferrari or you want the Hummer or the Expedition, whichever one you want. But you can't have the Ferrari and the Hummer. Nah, you can't.
Right.
Nope.
And if I'm being completely honest, I'm like, take the Ferrari, you know.
I could be coaxed more into taking the Ferrari than the Hummer.
Right. And that's not me saying that Asar is worse than Beef Stew. I think Asar is a really good basketball player. I like him a lot. But that's why it's like, take him. You can have him in the
he might fit more into what they're doing in Utah if I think about it.
Right. I think that helps them in their future, and I think that Detroit will still be able to compete. I'm if I could talk to the GM at Detroit right now, I would spend that whole conversation telling him it's time to go get Lauri. Like, that's what this whole conversation is for. You know,
find out what he wants for him. Find out what he wants. Find out how reasonable, because we know who Danny Ainge is. Find out how reasonable he can be, and let's see if we can pluck Lauri Markkanen away from him. Again, Ox, I'm not giving away Lauri Markkanen. I'm not doing it. I appreciate what you're trying to do in Detroit, and I know that we live in a very parity-driven league where we've got 7 different champions over the last 7 years. We may have an 8th different champion. So the door, even though Oklahoma City is doing what they're doing and they look like the favorites right now, the door is open to win the NBA championship. With that being said, this is basically my prize pick. And I am trending this way and trying to build something. And if you want me to give away my best piece, you got to make it worth my while. And yeah, Saw Thompson and some picks, that ain't enough. I'm good.
I don't know. They need to make something happen. Chill. Before we get into some other things, some other topics, I wanna get to the lobby. As a matter of
Yep.
fact, let's get to the lobby. I got big fan Breezy in the back. Let's see what he got for us today. What's
Yes,
up,
sir.
Breeze?
Yo, shout out to Chill, shout out to Big Ox. I know that's my favorite show, man.
Yeah.
the
What's up, brother?
You might listen, Chill. You might be right, and in my opinion, because of the first game of the season, and with KD versus the OKC, that was the first game of the season, right?
Yes,
Yes.
it was.
They went in
I
overtime.
I I feel like this is KD's revenge. You know what I'm saying? KD's because I feel like the OKC they got it right. Like they didn't whatever would be the equivalent of not trading James Harden. They didn't do that this time round. And but they didn't give KD that same grace of keeping Harden on a team to win a championship. So I feel like this time they got it around. But I feel like KD want to spoil you all of that shit. KD want to take. I think Amen Thompson, like you said, chill. Being at the point is to slow shade down some type of way when the
Hmm.
time comes. And I think KD want to mess up the party. He want to come into the OKC Oklahoma party to say, give me the confetti, give me the balloons, party done. I should have won a championship here. Y'all forgot about me and what I did for this city when nobody knew you, nobody loved you.
KD coming
I
into the
love
party,
you.
flipping over the table, knocking over the birthday cake. He flipping, throwing chairs. Nah, this party over. Nope. This supposed to be. I was supposed to be a part of this. Nah. Sound well.
Right. Chill. So that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, chill. I want to see the upset. Or show me that in the Western Conference Finals. So that's why I'm asking you, chill. Do you think your experiment is going to work with Amen Thompson being at the point guard, maybe slowing down Shea in a 7-game series, possibly, being the underdog in that situation, but beating OKC in the Western Conference Finals? You see that
I
as a
don't. I don't.
possibility?
I think it's a possibility. I just don't think we're there yet. And I
Mm,
am. What's got to happen is Amin Thompson has to improve immensely in order for that to happen over the course of this season. And I don't think we're there yet. No. But see, the problem is that when you trade for KD, what you do is you increase the timeline. Now, not
mhm,
increase the timeline, you shorten the timeline because KD is long in the tooth. Like when you get KD, if he's younger, okay, now I got another piece to build with. But I still got an awesome player who's older, so I don't really have that much time. So now the timeline got shortened. Like we have to do this now. And I don't think I'm in Thompson, who I do like at the league guard. He does handle the basketball. He does get downhill. And I've seen a lot of improvement from him. I think the difference here is that I don't think that we're where we want to be with him yet. I think that I think we're another year away, maybe 2, from where we want to be with him as a wing and as a lead guard. But we don't have that kind of time with KD. Like we got to get this done right now.
What about Reed Shepard, like kind of being there instead of Van Fleet? Do you feel like he filled in that position and like could do what Van Fleet was doing last season?
I think that I think that we look at basketball like a lot of people look at basketball in a way that's just, it's one, simplified, and two, you only play it one way. I actually like this backcourt with Reed Shepard and Amen Thompson, where we got dual responsibilities at the lead guard spot. I mean, they did that. Isaiah did that with Joe Dumars, right? Not only did Isaiah do that with Joe Dumars, Klay Thompson and Steph did that. Like Klay would handle the basketball sometimes. More times than not, he's playing off the ball. But with Reed Shepard, the confidence just looks like it's there. He looks like he's more of a bucket getter than he is a lead guard, but he looks like he's playing into that lead guard spot a little bit more. I'd much rather have a men there because bigger, more athletic. I think there's a bigger upside, more versatile as a defender, better athlete, which means we can speed the game up. And I think he can protect Reed Shepard, and Reed Shepard can play off the ball as a knockdown shooter. He kind of gives me a Mark Price, Ron Harper vibe, and
Hmm.
I feel like it could work.
I'm gonna leave with this, and y'all know I love the show. I'm gonna be in the chat. And to your point, you just said this. If there is a different champion this year, I know it's early to ask this question, but who y'all got? Who you got? Ox, Big Ox. Who you got, Joe?
I'm still sticking with my original take. I said I got Cleveland winning the NBA championship. It doesn't look like that right now, but I'm going to stick to my guns because we 15 games into the season, and I know how quickly things can turn around. I do. I know how quickly things could turn around, and I know how quickly things could get. I know how quickly things could go in your favor. So I'm sticking with Cleveland. Yes, I am.
Yeah,
All right.
for me, it's a little tough because it's just so early and you don't know what's gonna happen. But if I'm not going with OKC, right? If it's a different one, I'm gonna keep it in the West and go with either Denver
Mm.
or the Lakers.
The Lakers? Yeah, these some hot takes. You know I'm gonna revisit this with y'all later, man.
Mm-hmm.
So Chill got Cavs and you got the Lakers, Ox?
I got Denver.
Oh, you said
I
Denver.
got Denver.
Okay.
Yeah, I said Denver or the Lakers. But if
Okay.
I would probably take Denver over them. But I think the Lakers are super dangerous, y'all.
All
I'm adding
right,
James
yo.
back to the lineup. Yeah, adding James back to the lineup. Yeah, they're gonna be a problem. I think I had them fifth before we started, Ox. Yeah, I think I had them at the fifth spot. I think they fourth right now, something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, y'all know I'm watching, man. I'm in
Yes,
the
sir.
chat. Thank y'all, man.
You know where to find us
All right,
at.
Breeze.
Absolutely, Breeze.
All right, later.
Real quick, Ox, if I could address Sammy.
For sure.
If I could address Sammy in the chat. Sammy, the first game, that overtime game that they played against Oklahoma City, he had 4 turnovers. I don't know where the hell you getting 11 from. I don't know where you getting 11 from. He had 4 turnovers in that game. So that's just not true.
Right.
Get your story straight.
'Cause
He might, I think he was, go ahead, I'm sorry.
It was that day, Chill. That day, the next day, Mars said 11, but he misspoke. Because he had 11. It was 11 something else.
He was a minus 11 in that game.
Minus 11. That's what it was. He was a minus 11,
yes,
and I
he was
think
a
Mars
minus
misspoke
11.
and
Yes.
said that. And I realized that during it, and I forgot to bring it up. But
Yep.
I was talking to Ron about that later on that night. And just forgot to bring it up. And I don't think Mars was obviously trying to. I think Mars knew. I think he just misspoke when he saw
That's
that.
all, and it happens.
And yeah, no big deal. But
Yeah,
but
it
y'all got to check out that because he definitely did not have 11 turnovers.
No, he did not have 11 turnovers. And see, this is the biggest problem that I've had with people with other people's logic. That's why it's very easy, Ox. You can hear people talk. When you hear people talk and like try to have debates, you can hear that it's other people's logic. That's why it's so easy to attack it because you don't have a rebuttal for other people's logic. You got a rebuttal for yours. You could defend your logic. You can't defend other people's logic.
Oh, okay. So what Quan's saying in the chat is that Mars said that Mars was counting the threes.
Yeah,
as
he was
turnovers.
counting the threes. That's what
Got
he was
you,
doing.
and he had missed 7 threes. Okay, that makes more sense. I appreciate that, Quan. That makes a lot more. Okay, I get that. So, hey, you know what? I agree because I told you before that game, Chill, that kid ought not be shooting no threes like that. He went out there and just clanked,
I think he went 0 for 4 at the long ball line, something like that.
Yeah, because the one he made, his foot was on the line, and so
he
went
that one.
0 for 7. Right, that's right, that's right. Yeah, so you know what? He did have 11 turnovers. Sammy, you're right. He did have 11 turnovers. Oh man, but you know what though? Since I was gonna talk about a couple other things, but we can get to those later. Breeze came up here and brought up the Rockets. Chill. I know how I feel about the Rockets as far as what to expect later on in the season. Now, just the other day, we had a conversation where I was saying for some people, some coaches, and some teams, I believe the playoffs are more fitting for them. Just based on being able, I think it's supposed to be a slower paced game. I think slower paces work for certain teams, as opposed to faster paces. I think being able to play a team and get multiple shots at them is going to be better for actually the inferior teams as opposed to the superior teams because your coach has a time to get to game plan. But where I think it might hurt the Rockets is due to the fact that Amin and Reed are the ones that are going to have to be playing point guard. I don't know if they're going to be able to be successful in that type of setting. Therefore, I don't think the Rockets are a legit threat to win the West or win the championship. Chill.
Sir.
Are the Rockets for real?
I think they're a for real regular season team. I think that they're going to be trouble in the regular season, but I think we had if I'm not mistaken, Alex, we had a conversation yesterday when you talked about the playoffs and being able to scheme against SGA, being able to scheme against the Oklahoma City Thunder. When I have a specific amount of time to focus on you and you only and all your deficiencies and everything that you do wrong, I have a better shot as opposed to when I have to play you tonight and then on Saturday or Sunday afternoon, I got Dallas. And then 2 days after that, I got to play San Antonio. As opposed to I get to focus solely on you. And I know that when I'm focused solely on you, I know that Amin Thompson picks his dribble up when he crosses half court. Well, when he's picking his dribble up, crossing half court, my defense is now shifted. And the reason why my defense is shifted, because when he deads his dribble, and by the way, the shot clock is at 14. When he picks his dribble up, now I'm pushing you guys all the way further away. I'm pushing you guys further away from the basket. Now you guys have to rush. Guys like KD have to rush. And when you guys are coming to get the ball because he's picked his dribble up, now what I'm forcing a double team. So KD runs by because he can't get the ball, and now I can jump you. See, it's stuff like that we can scheme against, right? On top of that, a guy like Reed Shepherd, who's really good at shooting the basketball, right? I just feel like his confidence as a shooter is just increasing every day. However, if I'm scheming against him, I know that on the right side of the floor, watching him shoot the long ball, I know on the right side of the floor, he doesn't shoot as well as he does at the top of the key. So I want to keep him away from the right side of the floor. And I know for a fact that he does not defend in the post very well. So I'm going to go after that thing. With that being said, Ox, I think in the regular season, when we don't have to scheme against you as much as we would in a playoff series, it's going to look way different. Ox, they're number one in the league. If I'm not mistaken, Ox, they're number one in the league in 3-point percentage. They're number one in the league in twos, which means that we get more shots than anybody else. And one of the reasons why we get more shots than everybody else, because we're also number one in the league in offensive rebounding. The reason why we get to shoot the long ball is because a lot of times when we're rebounding, the defense is collapsing to get the rebound. And guys like Steven Adams or Sengun is able to kick the ball out, and guys are open for wide open shots, right? So with that being said, we're number one in the league in offensive rebound. We're number one in the league in total rebounds. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we're also number one in the league in defensive rebounding. We're number one in the league in free throw percentage because we don't foul as much. We do everything that we can to keep you off the foul line, right? So with us not fouling, which is smart defense, this is going to look great in the regular season. Now, when we come to the postseason, and now we have an opportunity to basically pick you apart and pick on you, and let's not act like KD ain't 36 years old and we can't go after him. Let's not act like that's not going on. We can get KD in action.
Is he a defensive liability?
I'm not saying that he's a defensive liability, but on no level, don't think that when I get in the ring with you, I'm going to be soft with you. I'm definitely going to bring the game, and I'm going to bring the fight to you. And a guy like KD, who is a bucket getter, but will defend, is a little long in the tooth. So to answer your question, I think that Oklahoma City, I think that Houston is still a little bit of ways away. I don't think that they're there yet. I said before the season started, I had them as at the ceiling. I think that they're with adding KD in the defense that they have. I don't think it's ridiculous for me to think that they could get to the West Finals, but that's as far as I'm going.
Okay. I mean, sure, they are on quite the heater right now.
Mm-hmm. They're rolling. Mm-hmm.
Like they lost their first 2 games of the season, and then they've won every game except for that one game against the Spurs. Their confidence is up.
Handled Cleveland last night. Handled them.
Yeah, that was
they won 10 of their last 11. If I'm not mistaken.
They have.
Yeah, I think they won 10 of their last 11. And to be honest with you, their schedule is favorable. Considering what's going on right now, their schedule is favorable. I mean, they got Denver coming up.
They got the Nuggets tomorrow.
Yeah, they got Denver coming up, but then they got Phoenix. I think they can handle them. We already seen what Golden State looked like. They got Utah twice. I don't think these are cakewalks, but these are all winnable games. Sacramento, I think they can beat them. Phoenix again. And then they got a stretch with the Mavericks, New Orleans, then Denver again, Sacramento, the Clippers, and the Lakers. I mean,
right.
I think they got a pretty favorable schedule moving forward, Ox. I do.
You know what's funny, Chill, and I'm not trying to just be a homer. But the thing about that, Chill, is they're going to be on the road. Mm-hmm. So they'll be on the road December 6th against Dallas. Then they get because the in-season tournament. Okay, so they got a while in between there. And then so on the 18th, they go to New Orleans. Then they go to Denver and play up in the Mile High. And that very next evening, they come to Golden 1. Chill, don't be surprised if on December 21st, we take care of those guys in Sacramento. It's a back-to-back the second of a back-to-back.
And it's an
that
early
first
game,
game.
too, on top of that.
Yeah, and that first game is in Denver. So I'm just saying, y'all, don't lose your mind if we take care of the Rockets on the 21st. I wouldn't.
And it's an early game too. On top of that, like we can't leave that part out. That's very important to mention. Yeah.
Well, no, they play. The game's at 7.
When Houston plays at Denver.
Oh, at Denver, yeah, that's at 2. That's at 2, right?
That's what I'm thinking about. That's an early game, and then they come see y'all that next night. I think that the early game might be tricky, and then when they see y'all the next night in the late game, I think that's plenty of rest for them.
Okay, all right. I tried, Joe. I tried. All right. Well, I mean, that's that, y'all. Let us know in the comments how y'all feel about the Rockets this season. If you think so far that they have proven that they can contend and compete with anybody, and do you think that they can win this year's NBA championship?
Mm-hmm.
Real quick before we move on to our other segments, I want to read these super chats. We have a couple of them. The first one's from the Trib. One, it says, Lauri doesn't fit the timeline of the Jazz. The original proposal from Ox can work, in my opinion. I'd give 2 less first if I could. A Soar is pivotal for Detroit.
What's the timeline, Trib? If you say he doesn't fit the timeline, let's get to the bottom of what exactly the timeline is. So you can't tell me that, Lauri is not a part of what they're trying to build, and you can't even tell me what it is they're trying to build. Who is their franchise player? Who is the guy that is the future of their franchise? Or who is the other guy? So I know that Keontae George seems to be, even though I like him off the ball, but then you bring in Walter Clayton. In addition to bringing in Walter Clayton, you got Isaiah Collier, you got Keontae George. So it seems like because it seems like you have what it seems like you have is it seems like you have a log jam at the lead guard spot, like with Clayton, Collier, George. It seems like you have a bit of a log jam there. All right, so then we got the forward spot, and we clearly have, like, I feel like we clearly have young talent that can be developed. But what I've seen, to Trib's point about the timeline, I mean, how quickly do things turn around? Like when you think about Oklahoma City, and like SGA became better, but when SGA made first team All Pro, we went from first team All Pro in 2023 to MVP 2 years later. Mm-hmm. We went from J-Dub being a first round pick to an all NBA and all NBA and an NBA champion and an all-star. That just happened in 2 years. Why is it that with Lauri Markkanen still being as awesome as he is, right? Still being as awesome as he is, why would the timeline change? It's not like Lauri Markkanen is 30, 32 years old, and we got a window of 2 years to now work this out. He just entered his prime. Literally just entered his prime. I'm not trying to hear that. No.
Right. And on top of that, Chill, when you think about it,
mm-hmm.
the Utah Jazz have some pieces.
They 100% do.
So they could also be looking to make a power move to go get another star that's closer to Lauri's timeline as well.
Think that makes a lot of sense, Ox. That does. If we could get another vet in here that's of that level, that's a little bit more mature, mm-hmm. that can push us over the top. And because again, we live in a right now league, right? We don't have a lot of teams that can say that, we're NBA. We do have a lot of teams that can say that they're NBA champions. We don't have one team, right? We don't have one team that says that, we're winning it every year. Like we don't have Kobe and Shaq running around. We don't got Jordan and Pippen running around. No. So this thing with one move could absolutely push us into playoff contention. It 100% can do that.
I mean, they say we're having a fire sale in Sacramento. I mean, Zach LaVine right there would be a good guard to go up there and play in Utah. There's a bunch of guys out there that you could add to that. You get a guy like Zach LaVine, and then go get a glue piece like a guy like, I'm not saying Derek White, but a guy like Derek White. It's a bunch of guys out there that I think you can add to the mix that can really help them. And they have pieces, y'all. The Utah Jazz have pieces. And Ace Bailey is still a pup. You know, so
Literally, Ox.
in 2 or
Literally.
3 years, you know, who's to say that Ace won't be ready to make a run like that with Lauri Lauri's 31 years old. That's young. I know a lot of people think 31 is too old. I personally think that's peak time to go to make that type of to run.
Ox, who as of today, where is Joker in terms of best players in the league?
Well, he's definitely top 3. I think he's 2, but I mean
that because Trip once says 31
most
years
people
old.
think he's 1.
Okay, so Joker is arguably the best player in the league. Giannis,
Right.
where is Giannis in the league right now in your estimation?
Best player in the world.
Just so you know, Trip, they're 30 years old.
Wilson.
30. They're 30 years old. That's what these dudes are. But what Trip wants to do, we already blew this thing up when we moved off of Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, right? And those guys. He wants to blow it up again. That's what he wants to do. No, I'm not doing that. That doesn't make any sense. No. I don't think you understand how hard it is to build a unit. That's what I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how hard it is to build a unit.
I think it's pretty tough, yo. I think
it is. It's very difficult to build a unit.
I think it's hard to build.
It's not as simple as it looks. No.
Once again,
to build a unit.
I've said this before. I don't envy the job of NBA coaches, and not for damn sure don't envy the job of general managers and front office execs that have to make these decisions on let's get this guy because he looks good there. Little do we know that taking him out of the comfort zone of, let's say, a South Beach and bringing him to Utah, it's going to throw his whole equilibrium off, and he's not going to be able to focus because he's not going to be able to get the same morning jogs on the beach that he was getting, and that changes everything. These are people we're talking about. You know what I mean? Everybody can't function the same way they function in other places. As much as we want them to, and as much as I say that shouldn't matter, you got to be a professional, that's just not reality. It's not reality. Not at all. I know for sure, too. I know when I left home, it took me about 3 months to get my mind right. I was in Seattle, up in, a little further north of Seattle, dying. Like I've never been this cold in my life.
Ox, I go from high school where I play on the All-State team. I ended up making the All-State team. I go a little bit further away from home, a couple of hours up the road, and I make the All-American team. I go out to Utah, and I can't get off the bench.
That's how it happens, y'all. It's just that simple.
So
just that simple. We got another super chat from the Trib One. DFS will be the missing piece for the Rockets. Looking forward to the Amin, Tari, KD, DFS, Jabari lineups. Maybe swap whoever with Sengun too. That lineup could work against OKC, in my opinion. OKC is a monster, though. Okay, you said put Sengun in there. Okay, I can get with that. Amin, take Tari out of there and put Sengun in there, or take Jabari. I don't know, one of them dudes. I mean, we all know Houston has quite the roster, Chill.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They have quite the roster,
and they play quite the defense too, which is also another reason why when you have young guys, okay, you stick with the young guys. Sure, I can get with that, but you know, Lauri Markkanen is an example of, 3 years ago when they got him, he was 25 years old. When they got him, he just turned 28, by the way, this year. Then when they got him, he was 25 years old. They got these young guys. Houston got these young guys. They've developed them, and I think they got a different program going on in Houston than they do in Utah. So I think they've done a great job in developing their talent, and I mean, it's clearly working. It's 100% working, and I think that if we could continue to do I think if they can continue to do what they're doing, I think that Houston is close. I think they're really close.
I see Chill Ridgematic in the chat. He says Paolo for Sabonis and Monk.
See, that's 2K stuff.
Right,
that's 2K stuff right there.
I'm sure that wouldn't happen, but you know what, Chill? Hey, I used to like Orlando. I had a starter jacket and everything. I could be a fan. I could go back. I could go back 100%. I could definitely.
We've had this conversation plenty of times, Ox. I will spin the block. Yes, I will.
Oh, for sure. No doubt. Chill, let's talk about another hot team. We talked about Detroit yesterday on the panel, so we don't need to spend too much time. Shout out to those guys, though. They are still top of the East, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. But let's talk about the Denver Nuggets, who have won 8 8 of their last 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, the young fella Derek Queen had a good game against him, but it wasn't enough.
Yep.
Peyton Watson dropped 32 points, which is a career high for him.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on this Denver Nuggets team? Are they geared up to potentially win the second title in the past couple years?
You know what's crazy, Ox? When the team loses in the playoffs, it's immediately, we got to blow this thing up. And even though you have your foundation, and there were some unfortunate things, like Jamal Murray ended up getting hurt, and then they really didn't have the pieces in terms of their rotation. But an amazing thing happened. They ended up filling out their bench. They ended up filling out their bench. They ended up getting their rotation guys. Guys like Jamal Murray started playing better. In addition to Jamal Murray playing better, Tim Hardaway shooting the basketball like he can shoot the basketball. Then they got a rotation big in. They got a rotation big in. They got a rotation big in Valanciunas. With that being said, you got a starter that's playing behind the best big in the league. You got one of the best marksmen in the game in Tim Hardaway. You bring back Bruce Brown. Peyton Watson is actually playing better. I'm still waiting for Cam Johnson to join the party at any point. Christian Brown has actually been out of the lineup, Ox. It's like we haven't really discussed him. He's been out of the lineup. But this team has gotten so much better since they filled out the holes that they had with their rotation. And Joker just looks like he doesn't look like Joker of old. He doesn't look like old Joker. He looks like an awesome player that we can't really do anything with. I mean, yes, he can be a little bit deficient on defense, and it happens. I do understand that. To your point, Ox, we can't have all perfect basketball players. I can't be the most awesome offensive and defensive player too. No, that's not going to happen. But with that being said, I mean, last night, I mean, they had their hands full with New Orleans, but they ended up pulling away at the end. Joker could have done a better job in taking care of the basketball. That's one of the issues that I do have with Denver. They can do a better job at taking care of the basketball. They're really loose. I think they're in the top 5 in the league in turnovers. That's not going to work if you're really trying to go deep in the playoffs, because when you run up on better teams, what they're going to do is they're going to exploit stuff like that. Oklahoma City, they're going to do a good job at that. Houston is going to do a good job at that. Dallas is one of the, I know that I talk about Dallas being at the bottom of the league. Dallas is still one of the best defensive teams in the league, and I do think that they're going to be back in the middle of this. So I think that they do have to do a better job in taking care of the basketball. But other than that, I love what I'm seeing from their rotation guys. I think they get quality minutes when Joker is off the floor. I think that their offense still runs smoothly because they don't just focus solely on the 5 spot, or they don't just run around with no direction like they did when Joker was off the floor. Valanciunas is a viable option on the box, and he can pass out of the post. Not only can Jamal Murray, when he goes to the bench or when he plays with the bench guys, work off those guys, he's been working off those guys really well. And when they get Christian Brown back, I think that they're going to be even better.
What's up with Christian Brown, Chill?
I know that it was a lower body injury, and
Okay.
I don't know how long he's going to be out, but
Okay.
once he gets, I think that he'll be back soon though. Like there are from what I understand, there's no broken bones or any torn ligaments. I didn't hear anything like that. No, I didn't.
But before he went out though, he wasn't playing that great.
No,
at least I didn't think so.
Mm-mm.
And that was a guy that I expected him to play much better than he was. I think he's a good basketball player still, of course, but he's going to need, when he gets back in the lineup, he's going to need to turn it up a bit to make this, because something has to happen for you to separate yourself. You know, for Denver to separate themselves as one of those top teams, which I think they already are, but you have to be able to have those guys. You know, your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th guy. Those guys have to be better than some of the starters on a lot of teams to separate us. Our second unit. I think obviously getting J-Val, that pushes their second unit up from where they once were. But Christian Brown has to play better basketball when he does get back in the rotation.
100% he does. I can get with that. Yep, I can definitely.
Did they pay him this summer, or is that
Yeah.
this summer?
Mm-hmm.
They did. Okay.
He ended up getting an extension, and that extension that he got was actually no, they didn't. He's still on the team option. I thought he got extended. I did. I thought I would have swore that he got extended, but apparently he didn't. Either that or I'm missing something. But
I see
thought
Randy says 5 years, 125.
Okay, so they did pay him. All right.
Okay.
So they did pay him. I didn't see it in here that they paid him. So
okay, it just kicks in next year. Got it. Okay,
because he's still on his rook deal.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like when you secure a bag like that, I mean, you secure $125 million. I mean, you're pretty much set, you know. So at that point, it's like, hey, man, just calm down and just focus on hoop, man. I believe in Christian Braun. I think he's a heck of a player. It's something about those kids that play for Bill Self, too. Yeah. It's something about those, except for Thomas Robinson. But
don't get me started, Ox. Yikes.
Oh man. But I want to talk about what Mike Brown said in his huddle yesterday. And he said something along the lines of find D'Lo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, chill. D'Lo doesn't play for the Knicks. He plays for the Mavericks.
Yes, he does.
So, what was Mike Brown getting at in his huddle yesterday? I don't know if y'all saw this, but there's a clip where he was kind of telling his team, y'all, let's do this, you know, just doing this, just coaching. And then at the end, he says, keep finding D'Lo.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean, chill?
Keep finding D'Lo. Just make sure. Well, it can mean two things. I can interpret it as when you're getting back on defense, find D'Lo. Make
like
sure that
transition or something.
Yeah, make sure that you always know where he is. But it could also mean that when we get on offense, go after him. Don't let him off the hook. Wherever he is, find him and bring him into action.
So pick on D'Lo.
100%. Go after him. Wherever he is, make sure you find him and bring him into the action and keep him in the action on the regular. Now, yes, it could mean when you get back on defense, because he's there. When we're talking about being on the wing and being a shooter, he's their best option, because if Clay's not on the floor, it's him. But more times than not, if I'm thinking about finding D'Lo, if we're looking for buckets and he's on the floor, he's definitely the defensive liability that I'm going after. And to be honest with you, Ox, I don't think that teams do this nearly as much. You can appreciate this being a Rasheed Wallace fan. Larry Brown lived on that. Let him go to Rasheed Wallace for a bucket, and Rasheed Wallace gives him a bucket. Guess what Larry Brown doing? Run it again. Go to him again.
The big fella.
Rasheed Wallace scores again. What does Larry Brown do? Run it again. Don't let him off the hook. Go after this dude. Until you show me that he could stop him, we're gonna run this all night long. All night. And I don't think teams maximize mismatches nearly as much as they should. And I think this Knicks team, because with Russell being the bucket getter that he is in terms of a shooter, I do understand having to find him in transition. We can't just leave him wide open, because he is a really good catch and shoot guy. He proved that when he was with the Lakers. No, he ain't JJ Redick. No, he ain't Steph Curry, right? No, he ain't. He's not that kind of shooter, but he can knock down open shots. But you know what else he can't do? What else he can do? He could be a liability on defense, 100%. And we want to find him. And I love that. I love coaches who do that, Ox. I don't like coaches who do that. I love coaches who exploit mismatches. That's coaching. I mean, you've said this to me numerous times. Coaches got to coach. That's coaching right there, Ox.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Chill. I'm all for that. I think there's some people that why are you mismatch hunting? Mismatch hunting is weird or whatever. It's like, if I know that I got a mouse in the house down there, or I got a quick guard you're too slow to stay in front of them, we are going to pick on you until you get subbed out.
Yes, go after them.
You are going to have to get them off the floor, or you are going to get abused. And I think that's what basketball is. That's the 100%. Essence of you know me, Chill. I love simple basketball.
Yes, sir.
Just simple stuff. There's no need for me to have to go through a whole bunch of advanced offenses and do a whole bunch over there. It's simple as this. You can set a down pick for him, and if they switch that, give him the ball. You get your ass out the way, and you are going to go get a bucket. Go get a bucket.
Ox giving me flashbacks, man. I remember, boy. I was playing against Adrian Griffin, and when I tell you that they went after me, they did not let me off the hook. He scored on me. They was like, go to him again. And I'm standing in front of him, and I'm in my stance, and I'm bumping him, and I'm making it hard on him. No question about it. He scored. They was like, go to him again. I'm like, God damn, they're coming after me.
Yeah. Well, hey, shit, that's how it has to be sometimes. But that's good. That's good hoop, though.
Yes, sir.
I love it. You know, I think Mike Brown is the type of coach that he'll get with that. I think there's a few coaches that I could think off the top of the head, you know, that are gonna take advantage of a guy. And if D'Lo is out there and if he's a defensive liability, you got to take you have to. Why would you not? Like, what are we trying to prove here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you've said it to me numerous times as a coach. You're not doing your job as a coach. If you don't do that, you're not doing your job. One of your jobs has to be exploiting mismatches. That's your job as a coach. And I think that's what he was doing. I 100% believe that's what he was doing. So,
yeah. Well, shout out to Coach Brown and shout out to that game last night. I know it ended kind of controversially though.
It did.
It was controversial ending. I don't know. Not sure about that one, refs. We got another super chat from Alan R. He says Luka shooting like 65% in the paint this year.
It's actually closer to 80. Yeah, it's actually closer to. I think last I checked, he was at 70%, 78%. I'm sorry, in the paint. Yeah, at almost 80% at the rim. So yeah, it's something crazy like that, Ox. That he doing that. I know that's nuts.
But why?
Well, one of the main reasons is Luka's a big body. He's 6'7", right? 6'7", and he's got this knack for being able to get you on his hip. And not just get you on his hip, but to also get you off of him too. And when he gets in that paint, he's got that floater game. Not only does he have that floater game, he's got that mid-post game. He's got that game on a box where he's just so good in those areas that you have no choice but to either put him at the stripe or you're at his mercy because he's bigger than more guys. He's bigger than more guys that are covering him one-on-one on the perimeter. And on top of that, the smaller guys, he just abuses them. I mean the bigger guys, he just goes into the paint and just abuses them. So, I mean, when you got a guy that's that big, that's beating up on your big man, plus your smaller guys, he's abusing them. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster for you.
There's got to be something that can be done about that. It's no way.
When you come into a fight,
not possible.
When you come into a fight, one of the two things you gotta accept. I'm gonna get punched in the face. The question is, how many times am I gonna get punched in the face? Right. How many times is this dude gonna hit me? Because I can't let this dude just punch me in the face all night, right? So there has to be some sort of remedy to slowing down Luka, right? And being physical with him ain't it. That's not going to get it done. No.
Man, y'all
in fact, he wants to play like
face,
that.
Man. Please, y'all, please stop getting punched in the face like that. Like, move your head, get some head movement, bob and weave a little bit, do something.
Don't do
y'all
that.
Letting this man score at 80% in the paint. That's ridiculous, y'all. That's ridiculous. That's like DeAndre Jordan just catching lobs. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is like the 16 Clippers all over again. What is happening?
Somebody
just do
fired.
Something. Do something, y'all.
Well,
y'all, that was the end of the super chats. And to Chill's point, I'm not trying to get fired. So I'm going to go ahead and do my job, and we're going to get up out of here, y'all, because Claire don't play. So
I just got a text from Claire that she told me I'm getting this right here. Like, let's go, guys, wrap it up. All right, okay,
right,
we leaving.
Right. Well, y'all, we'll be back on the panel tomorrow. This is what I want y'all to do tomorrow as well. As soon as you can, make sure that you get back. It'll be at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, I believe. It's time, y'all. It's time. You've heard about it a lot. We talked about it. But tomorrow, get there at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. King of the Court. The PCL is back. Season 3. Don't miss it. That is tomorrow. And then right after that, well, not right after, but a little later, we will be on playback watching the Denver Nuggets play the Houston Rockets. So tomorrow's a jam-packed day. You got the panel, you got the PCL, and then playback. So tomorrow's going to be a jam-packed day. It's going to be a fun day. Y'all make sure to be there, and we'll see you early on the panel like we always do. Chill.
Ox, really quickly before we go, Luka, 0 per Basketball Reference, 0 to 3 feet. He's shooting 95% from the floor.
All right, Chill. I'll see you tomorrow. I've heard enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, good to see y'all. Y'all know where to find me and the big fella. If we ain't on the panel every day, Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Pacific, 11 o'clock Eastern. You can find us right here, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific, and 12 o'clock on Saturday, Eastern, and 9 o'clock Pacific. We'll see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? Call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, yo, get with my big fella. He got you covered. He'll make sure that you get home. But it was good to see you guys. Take it light, but take it. And, yo, do something about Luka. He's scoring almost 100% of the time at the rim.
Has Shaq ever did 95%?
No.
God damn.
No.
All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I gotta go.